You know, when you get to the bottom and you look up, it's just one of those things, man, that you have to wrap your head around. But you can only do it when you're looking back. You don't do it while it's happening. And that's the problem with humanity. That's the problem with who we are. We always have to use the gift given to Epimetheus. If we look back, we don't look forward. We look back. And when we look back, we often see things differently than what we saw when we were in the moment. Now that's a beautiful thing because it's a protection for us. Because if we believed everything that we knew in the moment without the benefit of looking back, we would continue to make mistakes over and over and over. So God, in His infinite wisdom, gave us the moment and gave us the ability to look back on the moment. And in so doing, if you live a deliberate life, if you live a life of analyzation, you will look at your life and you'll see a different picture when you look back. It's when this matter of love between two people who are always wanting to live in the now, that's a beautiful thing. But only when there's synchronicity between these two individuals. When you lack that, when two people fail to understand the reasons why they do the things they do, chaos ensues. Chaos. But chaos is necessary because growth only comes through chaos. Chaos is the mother of growth. In fact, it is only in times of chaos that we see the need to grow. For without chaos, we would not grow. And yet here we are. Here we are stuck in this chaos and we are not growing. So the question is why? Why are we not growing? It is because we are not analyzing our lives. We are not looking at them. We are not looking in the mirror. You remember Brother James? Brother James said to look in the mirror and look at what sort of man you ought to be. And then you go away and you forget about what you saw. This is what we're doing. We never live an analyzed life because that requires us to be wrong. And most people go through life with very little ability to admit they were wrong. About 1, 2, or 3, let alone the totality of it all. So hard do we hang on to our belief systems that we will watch them perpetrate great evil against humanity and never say a word because we don't want to be wrong. You know, people around me don't understand. I don't care about being wrong. I care about efficiency. I care about utilizing one's energies appropriately. But mostly, I just care about love. Because love is the resonant frequency of the universe. The brain wave, the heart wave, the wave of the earth, when they synchronize, and that energy flows through each of us, We're in line with the way of the universe. And that is a most beautiful thing. That is a most beautiful thing. So I lay here on my bed and I think about all the things I've been and all the things I've been not. And one thing I know is a constant. And that is, if I love myself, I am loving God. Because when I'm with myself, the only person here with me is Yahweh, is God. And it is the relationship I have with Jesus Christ. And studying those words in red that have helped me to see the oneness in Yahweh through the sovereignty of Christ. And no one can take that. And when men and women get into this thing, right, this relationship thing, each wants the other to be something other than what they should be in order for it to work. Each person wants the other to be their world. But that's not the unity we seek. We seek the unity of the Godhead, Yahweh. How do you get to Yahweh? Through Jesus Christ. And then man through Christ and woman through man. The formula's there. It's taught to us. We just don't want to see it because we want to be something else in someone else's equation. But if all we do is just look for the love and pursue it, and treat each other with respect and dignity while placing love first, by looking at things compassionately and with empathy towards those who suffer in our lives, and in particular those who suffer, who are trying to make our lives easier with their endeavor, with their sweat, with their blood, and with their tears, and who open their hands and offer to us a monetary blessing. Why would you ever make it hard on that person? Just to be right. You see, when we start relating to one another as though we care compassionately about that person first, our viewpoints change. We have a desire to be with. And I think that's why a lot of people end up alone with God, because so many times other people, other persons don't have that much love. Because what matters to them is their view of the world, their understanding of the construct of men right outside that window. That world that they built. You see, we live in one world, but there are two realities in it. There is the construct of men and the buildings that they built, only here 4 generations at a time. Think about that for a moment. The whole totality of all human reality is no more than 320 years-ish. 4 generations. Everything else falls into history. Human history. Limited by humanity. 320 years at a time is the only reality that exists right outside that window. That's it. No more than that. Everything else is history. Yet, in the same world, When I minus the construct of men, I see the construct of God. And it lives in eternity. There is no time. There is no space. There is no confinement. And those two realities are very real. And you can see them if you look outside the window. People just don't want to look outside the window. And so what happens? In a relationship between men and women, it breaks down just like it breaks down outside, because people don't want to see what they see. They don't want to hear what they hear. They only want to believe in their pain and in their struggle, because that's all that's real to them. Some people so stubbornly cling to their pain that they ruin life for themselves and everyone around them, and they never even realize they're doing it. Why does this happen? Why? I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why we do it this way. All I know is that it is what we do. And as we look at all of this together, it comes down to looking in that mirror. We have a serious problem. Men don't know how to be men. And because men don't know how to be men, women have forgotten who they are. And rightfully so. You can't wait around on chump an entire life to get around to it, to understand it. You waste your whole time here waiting on somebody else to figure it out. Yet it's said about an entirely different set of problems, because women on their own, without love as a regulator, will find themselves steeped with jealousy and vindictiveness and every other sort of Jezebelian influence. They're imperfect too. It is only in meeting the divine masculine and the divine feminine that anything changes. Because only when a man understands who God is and how to act like God, and only when a godly woman comes to him and they build a union that is synonymous with godliness, the mind of Christ, then it works. Otherwise, all that really ever happens is two persons spend a lifetime building misery. No, it doesn't have to be that way. We can choose love. We can consciously choose love and apply love first, before the ego gets involved and claims the pain back. But it's a conscious thought, and it requires enlightenment, and it requires you to do what Brother James did and look in the mirror and not forget who you are, but go out and try to fix that man.